舒兰5月15，看看这都是做核酸检测的啊，保洁人员，还有防疫工人，全是核酸检测。
爱惜身体才是智者，身体健康。
舒兰加油！
没有好的身体。
看看啊，舒兰小区的现状啊，看看这超市啊，都这样式的了，你怎么样看大家？大家没有话，你看真无奈。夏天的风，我永远记得，清清楚楚地说你爱我，我看见你苦苦的笑容眼
报警！报警！
千万别买房，全部都是托，装的特别专业，有的坐在那里全看表价，有的站在沙盘在看位置。
他横由他横，明月照大江。中华民族历史上经历过很多磨难，但从来都没有被压垮过，而是愈挫愈勇，不断在磨难中成长，从磨难中奋起。中国人不是被吓大的，任何威胁都没有用。某些人应该清楚，只有抛弃冷战思维，收起抹黑攻击那一套，重归与国际社会开放合作的正轨，才能挽救更多美国人的宝贵生命。
对了，车都要打。
看看大风刮到，把电动车全给砸烂了，这么一溜了，哎。
这车子留着烧的光了吗？
塌了，都烧塌了，你没看？看这个烟，拿学药在那里，那个小孩子学药的他在那里，这不行了，这整个厂都烧没有了。塌了啊！那救护还没有了。我靠，这厂房做的厉害！上这儿，我的。站这，这一块头吧啊，这凹一盖啊，这一块头吧。
The State Department's latest warning on China's government, accusations of attempts to steal American COVID-19 research. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is demanding China stop its data theft and adds, quote, the PRC, People's Republic of China, continues to silence scientists, journalists, and citizens and spread disinformation, which has exacerbated the dangers of this health crisis.
It's a virus that spread from China around the world, claiming Australian lives, making us sick, and crippling our economy.
It would seem entirely reasonable and sensible that the world would want to have an independent assessment of how this all occurred.
Now the European Union will push for an inquiry.
In order to know more what has happened and in order to prevent that this can happen again, maybe the markets are part of the problem.
and Australia will back the EU.
We know that China, for a very long time, have been very bad actors in the cyberspace. What they're targeting, again, is not only the intellectual property that we're creating here, again, when we talk about COVID-19 research, but again, targeting our personnel to steal that information so that they can be at the cutting edge of that research. And we need to make sure that that's protected. And that's part of what we do from a cyber perspective at the Department of Homeland Security. And again, from a department perspective, we're looking at, there's a number of visas that Chinese students, Chinese researchers, and others utilize. We're taking a look at how we address the fraud that we all know is in that system.
The Italian government is easing travel restrictions, allowing people to move freely inside their home region as of Monday, and between regions starting June 3rd. India has surpassed China's tally of confirmed infections with nearly 86,000 cases. Russian health authorities say they have registered an additional 9,200 coronavirus infections in the past 24 hours.
Countries, especially in Europe and North America, have been increasingly reporting a mysterious illness among children that is possibly linked to COVID-19. The syndrome is known to present symptoms including high fever, skin rash, and toxic shock.
We're building right now incredible military equipment at a level that nobody's ever seen before. We have no choice. We have to do it with the adversaries we have out there. We have, I call it the super duper missile. And I heard the other night 17 times faster than what they have right now. Then you take the fastest missile we have right now. You've heard Russia has 5 times, and China's working on 5 or 6 times. We have one 17 times. So I just want to congratulate everybody and thank everybody. Space is going to be, it's going to be the future. I know that Voice of America is run in a terrible manner, terrible. They're not the Voice of America. They're the opposite of the Voice of America. I'd like to see no death at all. One death is too many. This should have never happened. This came from China. It should have been stopped in China before it got out to the world. But it could have been stopped at the source. It should have been stopped right at the source, but it wasn't.
Okay, last question. I got to ask you, how can the American people help? I mean, you guys have laid out a dystopian vision of China under these kleptocrats, and people want to know, hey, we all want this firewall to come down. We've allocated money in our budget, and we're going to get to Michael Horowitz in the next segment to tell us why it hasn't been spent. But how can the American people, and quite frankly, people throughout the world, you have a huge international audience here, how can people assist our brothers and sisters in China in tearing down the firewall?
Thank you, Mr. Bannon. That's a great question. And realize it or not, we are right now amidst a hot war, World War III, with the Chinese Communist Party. They're waging information warfare on us. They're waging cyber warfare on us. And when you go on Twitter and you see that Twitter doesn't allow you to say anything that's contradictory to the WHO, doesn't allow you to say anything that's contradictory to the Chinese Communist Party, you have to realize that, hey, this is the cost of Chinese people not having their liberty, not having their freedom. And now it's infiltrating America and it's taking away your liberty and your freedom too. So to my dear friends in America and the great people of the world, I say, write to your congressmen, write to your congresswomen, write to your congressmen, write to your mayors, to your representatives, to your senators. Whenever you got censored by Twitter, write to them and ask, hey, why is my, freedom of speech, why is my constitutional rights taken away? Why are big techs helping Chinese Communist Party to build a great firewall to censor the Chinese people? Ask them these questions and ask them to take actions to defend your rights.
Lee, thank you very much for joining us. Very powerful and very passionate, and hope you're safe. Hope your family's safe. Really appreciate you and appreciate you coming on here and being part of the whistleblower movement.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor to be here.
I want everybody to understand that is that your freedom, and he makes a great point. And why is it from the voice of these young kids in China that we have to learn these lessons? you don't if you're saying stuff about WHO, if you're saying stuff on YouTube about some of these organizations, YouTube takes you down. Hey, trust me, you're getting a firewall here in the United States of America. We're supposed to be the paragon of freedom throughout the world. The Revolution, the Civil War, the Great Depression, World War II. We've been the leading edge and cutting edge of fighting for freedom throughout the world. Cold War, we freed 1 billion people or assisted them in their freedom against the dictators in the Soviet Union, right? And now it's coming down around, and it takes the Chinese to say, hey, look, as bad as it is for us, that firewall is now onto you. Because if you start smack talking the WHO, if you start smack talking Xi's buddy Tedros, all of a sudden your Twitter account's going to. They took our Twitter account down, remember, for 48 hours. I forgot, we said something about the CCP or the WHO or something. They took it down until there was an outrage. The guys at Zero Hedge, which I still think is one of the best sites, and they do link, I think, every now and again to a couple of skivvy sites that I wouldn't link to. However, it's still one of the best things of an aggregator of important financial capital markets news.
没有任何人可以挡住我们把共产党消灭。而且现在我可以告诉大家，你们也看到，世界上多股强大的国家超级力量已经和我们形成了战略联盟。我们现在要做的事情，就是做好一切准备，让共产党灭亡前少牺牲中国人，少榨取中国私人企业，少对香港和台湾带来巨大的伤害，绝不允许造成军阀割据、社会动乱，还有其他国家趁机敲诈、剥削属于我们中国人的海外财富和国内财富。所以我们希望我们所有的战友们、精英们能勇敢的和我们爆料革命站在一起，迎接这伟大的时刻。很有可能下1个小时共产党就没了。中共最近派了某些国家一些医疗队，这些医疗队出去以后，发现了外面和中国所听到的不一样。其中有医疗队的人是我们战友，告诉我说：“郭先生，你根本什么都不需要做，共产党会灭亡。我们做了很多好事情，救了很多人，很有成效。但是我们看到了病毒已经不足，而且这些国家对中共的恨。”他说：“你们做的非常伟大，就现在是都知道这是共产党的事，过去是恨中国人，现在这种恨救了这些人的命，给了人家东西，人家眼神里边的语言上是咬牙切齿。世界将有绝大多数人希望共产党迅速灭亡，